Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'll be covering Who's Who in the DC Universe, issue number 24, published in 1986 by DC Comics. This issue covers the characters Tim Trench through Universo and features a really nice Eduardo Barreto wraparound cover showing just about all of the individuals who are covered in this issue. Really nice work by Eduardo Barreto. It's kind of in the same tradition as Jose Luis Garcia Lopez in terms of his excellent figure work and incredible design sense, and does a real nice job here illustrating a lot of varied characters from DC's storied history. Let's dive right in. We have our who's who, hows, and whys. And there is an interesting letter from Todd Smuts of Muskegon, Michigan. He asks a number of questions and makes a few declarative statements. Item number 6 on his list. I firmly believe age specifications should be listed. And the editor's reply: we disagree strongly about age listings. Superman is an eternal 29, and we are loath to pin our characters down at any time. So very cool, very declarative. Basically, no, we're not going to tell you what the characters' ages and birthdays are because that messes with comic book time. It's a line we're not crossing. And succinct in answer, and I tend to agree with it. When you have properties like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, to a lesser extent because she's ostensibly immortal, pinning them down to a particular time creates issues, the sort of issues that led to the development of the Infinite Earths paradigm that DC worked under prior to the Crisis. So this is now post-crisis, and they're definitely cleaning things up, and they're moving forward with the ethos that, yeah, our characters are eternally age X or Y or whatever. On to our first entry. Tim Trench, private investigator. First appearance of Wonder Woman number 180. Excellent artwork here by Sandy Plunkett and P. Craig Russell. Nice work there on another of the many DC detective characters. Unpowered, I should add. Next up is Titano. First appearance, Superman 127. Art by John Byrne. A very cartoonish artwork here by John Byrne, befitting this sort of outlandish giant ape character. Next up, the Titans of Myth, with great artwork by the aforementioned Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Their first appearance was New Teen Titans, first series, number 11. And yeah, very nicely done. If you looked quickly, you could almost mistake this for George Perez, and I think Garcia Lopez is aping George Perez a little bit here. His ability to draw figures so elegantly is just amazing. Next up, we have TNT and Dan the Dynamite. Their first appearance was Star Spangled Comics number 7. Great artwork here from Romeo Tangal, capturing that Golden Age feel a bit, especially in his action sequences. Really cool. Next up, one of my favorite lesser DC villains, Tobias Whale, with awesome artwork by Trevor Von Eden. First appearance, Black Lightning number 1. So he was Black Lightning's original foe. And let's just take a quick look at his powers. Tobias Whale may look fat, but he is in reality pure muscle and incredibly strong. Although a leader, he sometimes prefers to battle and kill enemies with his bare hands. So strong in body and fearsome in appearance is he that few in his gang dare disobey him. And they have his weight at 382 pounds. So very much a DC version of the Kingpin there. I like him a lot, though. Cool look. Talkamac is up next. First appearance, Fury of Firestorm number 18, art by Dennis Cohen and Greg Brooks. Next up, we have Tomahawk and Dan Hunter, another hero and his kid sidekick. with art by Dan Spiegel. Their first appearance, Star Spangled Comics 69. And we have Tomahawk's Rangers, a support cast, I guess, for those characters, with art also by Dan Spiegel. And they have various first appearances based on the different members of the crew. I'm not going to go through them all. Next up is Tommy Tomorrow of the Planeteers. Excellent art by Jim Mooney. He appeared first in Real Fact number 16. Yeah, that's a very Golden Age character design there on Tommy Tomorrow of the Planeteers. Reminds me a bit of Flash Gordon. Next up, we have T.O. Morrow with art again by Joe Brzezowski and Greg Brooks. His first appearance, Flash number 143. Another of the DC super scientist villains, or at least, let's see, actually, T.O. Morrow, what do they list his? Yeah, professional criminal. So he is a villain. For a second, I thought, maybe he's one of those guys who kind of walks the line, but he doesn't. Next up, we have The Top with artwork by Carmine Infantino and Joe Giella. First appearance, Flash number 122. And folks, get used to this. Take a snapshot of this pose because you're going to be seeing it again several more times in this issue, as Carmine Infantino has been tasked with drawing several more entries in this issue. Next up, we have Toy Man with art by Marshall Rogers, the incomparable Marshall Rogers. Action Comics number 64. What a storied old DC villain. Very cool. Next up, Matt Savage, Trail Boss. First appearance, Western Comics number 77. Great artwork here by Carmine Infantino and Bernard Sachs. And this is actually a departure from the other Carmine entries we're going to see, which are going to heel more closely to The Top. Next up, we have The Trickster. First appearance, Flash 113. Artwork by Paris Collins and Gary Martin. He's one of those Flash villains who, I guess they brought the new character Blue Devil in, and so he kind of became a Blue Devil villain. Kind of like the Rhino was a Spider-Man villain, and he eventually became more of a Hulk villain. Next, we have the Trigger Twins with, you guessed it, Carmine Infantino artwork. We know this pose, folks. First appearance of the Trigger Twins, All-Star Western number 58. Moving on, we have Trigon the Terrible with awesome George Perez artwork. His first appearance, New Teen Titans number 4. That was the first series. Look at these Perez background pieces here. Just so intricate, so beautiful. Next up, a character I always loved in the All-Star Squadron, Tsunami. First appearance, All-Star Squadron number 33. Art by Rick Hoberg. Very cool character. And I do love this sort of, this synergy in terms of who they got to draw Turtle Man. Artwork by Peter Laird of Eastman and Laird Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fame. Very awesome. Someone had a good sense of humor, and it's a nice piece too by Peter Laird. First appearance of Turtle Man is for the first Turtle Man, Flash number 21, for the second Showcase number 4. Can you believe there were 2 versions of Turtle Man? I guess this is the original here. Next up, we have Tweedledee and Tweedledum with artwork by Bill Sienkiewicz. Really nice work here by Bill. Detective Comics number 74 was their first appearance. We have an awesome piece by Brian Boland here on Two-Face, whose first appearance, Detective Comics 187. And the original Two-Face, Detective Comics 66. So I guess there's a Golden Age and Silver Age version of Two-Face. The 2000 Committee is up next. Artwork by Joe Brzezowski and Art Nichols. First appearance, Fury of Firestorm number 10. These guys, I guess, were kind of like one of the sinister behind-the-scenes crime organizations for like maybe the Corporation was in Marvel in the 1970s. Nice artwork here by Joe Brzezowski, who gets several entries in this issue. Speaking of which, next up we have Typhoon, another character who fought both Flash and Firestorm. His first appearance is Flash 295. Excellent artwork by Joe Brzezowski and Steve Mitchell here. On to a Legion villain, Tyr, with great artwork by Dennis Cohen and Dick Giordano. His first appearance, Superboy in the Legion 197. This guy, I mean, he may have done more to inspire Masters of the Universe, some of the Masters of the Universe He-Man characters than any other comic character I've seen, because, man, he looks like an action figure, just the way he's designed. Very cool character. Another Legion character, but this time a good guy, Ty Rock. Great artwork by Norm Brayfogle. First appearance, Superboy in the Legion 216. He had sonic powers. Very cool 70s uniform here. Definitely screams 70s. Next up is Ultra. First appearance, Justice League 153. Great early Eric Larson artwork here, inked by Mike Mocklin. Really cool character. This is a powerful character, too, on the level of Superman. If he can fight Superman and Wonder Woman in a physical matchup at the same time, he is definitely a formidable foe. Then we have Ultra Boy, art by Ron Frenz and Bruce Patterson. His first appearance, Superboy number 98. So before it became Superboy in the Legion, it was just Superboy, but the Legion would feature a lot in it. And this is when Ultra Boy shows up. Love to see Ron Frenz come over and do some DC characters. He eventually would have a pretty long run, I think, on Superman, but for a while he was exclusively a Marvel artist. Next up, the Ultra Humanite, with great artwork by John Statima and Jerry Ordway, and those Jerry Ordway inks are transformative on John Statima's pencils here. They're just totally great. And first appearance in original body, Action Comics 13. As Winters, Action Comics 20. In insect form, Superman Family 214. In ape form, Justice League of America 195. I think I own this Justice League of America. It might be a Perez issue, it might not. But I think it's worth covering because I love this character. As a fan of Super Apes, the Ultra Humanite did have a big impact on me as a kid, especially reading those early All-Star Squadron stories that he was in, and as well as when he was in the All-Star Squadron, he was in the body of a female model, I believe. But in Infinity Inc., he's in this ape form. Next up, Gary Concord, the Ultraman, with great artwork by Marshall Rogers, aping kind of a Golden Age style. His first appearance, All-American Comics number 8. Ultra, the Multi-Alien, is our next entry, with great artwork by Terry Beatty and Dennis Jensen. First appearance, Mystery in Space 103. And this is one of the more bizarre characters you'll see in the DC Universe, along with Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man, who he kind of reminds me of. Then we have Uncle Sam, first appearance, National Comics number 1, art by Murphy Anderson. Real quick here, Uncle Sam possesses superhuman strength and a large major invulnerability. He has a limited ability to travel into other dimensions by concentrating. He does not age, and possibly it is he who somehow has kept the freedom fighters young over the decades. So a very interesting power set here for Uncle Sam and a cool character. Next up, The Unimaginable, with great artwork again by Eric Larson, this time inked by Paul Neary. First appearance, Justice League of America number 42. And finally, Universo, a great Legion villain. Artwork by Greg LaRocque and Arn Starr. First appearance, Adventure Comics 349. So we had a number of Legion entries in this issue, but this is the first time that, at the time, regular Legion artist Greg LaRocque actually draws it, which is kind of nice to get him in on the action. We have our inside front cover, our inside back cover, I should say, which shows some of the comics that some of these characters will be appearing in around the time of publication of this issue. So that's always a good thing to include. Nice little marketing bit from DC. And that is pretty much it, folks. That is Who's Who in the DC Universe number 24. I am marching toward the end of the first run. I believe I have 2 issues left. I think it ends at 26. I've been wrong before, but I'm pretty sure 26 might be the last one. And then I'll get into some of the update series, and probably we'll do the Legion as well. So stay tuned for that. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.